Found the squeak. 17 championships.
We have a bolt jammed into the broken piece of the frame.
I knew it was loaded with oil, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh my. Anybody want to buy a CR500?
We learned that the most expensive CR500 is the cheapest CR500.
What's going on, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Isaac.
And I'm Charles.
And today on Cars and Cameras, we're back working on our swap meet special 1985 Honda CR500, the peak of Honda's two-stroke goodness. In the last episode, we unearthed this thing and we got it running and riding for the first time in years, undoubtedly. Unfortunately, we still have starting problems. We have high RPM braking up issues, and we don't have front brakes. This thing is maximum sketch. So in today's episode, we're looking for more refinement, easier starting, and a full send, all in hope to test out this third gear hole shot that everyone talks about.
This CR500 is an absolute bear to start. So I figure I'd check the ignition. I'd try to spin this over and see about what RPMs it spins over before we get spark. And then we're going to be throwing on a new coil, new stator, pickup, all that stuff. And then we're going to spin it over again and see if there's any difference. Hopefully lower RPM, hotter spark.
So the long-term goal with this thing is to fully restore it, but I guess first things first is to start with like the wear items. So we're going to go ahead and remove like the chain guide. And we also have, so all new plastics for everything that the chain touches, including a new front sprocket, because we're actually missing a tooth.
So before I take this flywheel off, I'm going to check and see about what RPM we get the good spark for starting. Alright, I'm got the tiniest little spark. There we go, it's getting a little bit bigger. And that's a really good spark right there. And spark is like coming and going right there. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to be replacing this and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm hoping that at lower RPMs we're going to have a sharper, better spark. And that idea is for kickstarting. Like kickstarting, it might not be able to spin over that fast to get a good spark.
That was kind of close to Charles' hand.
Yeah, it's out of gear, so it would have gone, ha! It would have hurt a little. I would have had it would have been a Band-Aid moment.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
We found this flywheel puller kit on eBay. It was pretty cheap, and we highly recommend it if you work on all kinds of different dirt bikes and ATVs, small engine stuff. Came in handy. So apparently this is the same as a Honda Trail 70.
Bingo!
That is
Nice.
cute.
Nice.
Yay! Look,
And it doesn't look too bad, does it?
the blaster does its job.
What is it? It works.
The
so
bolt was galling up as he was pulling it out. So
Yeah, I thought it was going to snap
It's
off.
like, what was it? The famous words of Joe Dirt. It does the work, so you don't have to. God, I've seen dumb now. That's the scrubbing bubbles theme.
Oh, and the wires go through the back of that piece. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove the whole thing. So Charles says that I need to rotate this thing to TDC so the valves are out of the way.
Because I know two strokes, man.
Yeah. We're gonna be putting air.
I'm okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
We're gonna be putting air in the cylinder, which is gonna be putting air in the crankcase. We're gonna be putting positive pressure in the crankcase, and we're gonna blow, or we're gonna spray some soapy water on the shaft there, right at the seal, and we're gonna be looking for bubbles. If we see bubbles, we've got a leak. Personally, I like the smoke machines, but we don't have a smoke machine, so we're going to be using compressed air and soapy water. If this thing's on top dead center or anywhere close, it's going to shoot the piston down whenever I start adding the air. So, oh look, see it rotating? Okay. I don't see any bubbles being pushed out. Probably ought to check the carburetor and put my hand over it just to check.
So this is our, I think this is our top side chain roller. Definitely an upgrade from what we got, you know. But we'll save the bearings. But yeah, no, this is pretty cool. Because I was wondering if it was the bigger one on here or the smaller one, but the big one, if it's there, there's not much room for the chain to pass through. So big one up top, little one on the bottom. You know we have an exhaust leak too.
Yeah,
because like on that reel, like on the thumbnail,
yeah, when
it started up, it had that big old puff out the front of the bike. Yeah. I mean, it looked cool, but it was definitely an exhaust leak. I mean, we're in the under construction process, or whatever, as the sticker says. You can get yours at cars-cameras.com. Found the squeak. Oh, that's bad. All right, so let's see what the brakes look like. Cause didn't you guys have problems with them or something?
I had problems with them. Do they look okay?
I mean, the pads are all there. Do you think we should like take some Scotch pad, like rough them up and clean in here?
I got new pads.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's just replace the pads and then polish in here. Cause it might have some pitting or something. How's that bearing?
You know, not bad.
Oh, good. Yeah, it has some resistance, so but like the good kind.
What's happening is the piston is coming up and it's sealing off the either inlet or exhaust or both actually, and the air is pushing down on the piston just far enough where it exits, I'm going to say, the exhaust, and then once the pressure is released, it allows me to close it again, and then it just over and over and over again.
All I have to say is you have an effect on engines.
Taco Bell will give you the same feeling.
No bubbles, which means the seal is most likely sealed.
And you covered the intake and the exhaust. And
oh man, the intake is not leaking. The exhaust, Charles has got it plugged off.
You see how shiny that pad is? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Like, it's cloudy and then shiny on that one. I think they got glazed over. Usually, like with pads, you can take it and sand the glazing off and put them back, but we're just gonna replace them with the new brake shoes. I've already removed them, but match the ends up, flat side to round side. And a good way to get these springs on, or to kind of cheat, is to kind of bring the two pads together. And this is, it may take a few times, but this is so you don't have to like stretch them out and ruin them with a pair of pliers. Let's see how they're both hooked in. And remember, wear safety glasses doing this. So, and then now that the springs are holding the pads together, kind of repeat the process, but set it down on that. There we go. And just like that, good to go. And I've polished the edges on both surfaces. And look at that. No more squeak.
No more squeak.
I mean, it might come back, but it's okay. So we'll get the rear tire, rear section reassembled, and then we'll see what Ike's doing.
There we go.
Sweet.
So for those of y'all that don't know what a stator does, this is the stator right here. And on other types of bikes, there's also a rectifier regulator. I'm not sure there is one on, I don't think there is one on this bike, but anyhow, the stator is what creates the energy, the electricity for like the ignition system or any of the other accessories on the bike. So we're replacing this because we're thinking maybe the other one might be a little on the weak side. We're also replacing the pickup because pickups can wear out too. It's like a little magnet, and as a little piece of metal rotates by the flywheel, right here in fact, right there, when this swings by there, it creates a pulse, like a reference for where the piston is in the engine, letting it know when to fire. That's plain and simple. That's about it.
Nice and smooth. No squeaks. Good to go. You can see how the riding boots have worn off the nubs there and not on the backside. So like if you're looking at a dirt bike and you're wondering how hard it's been ridden, maybe look at the pegs.
How many hours does it have on it?
Yeah, because
Yes.
like, I mean, yeah, maybe they've replaced all the stuff that looks bad, but they miss those, and that's a good indicator on how much it's ridden. But man, somebody had a lot of fun with this bike for sure. And, you know, look, number 17 championships.
So I distinctly remember on that first startup shot on the CR500, we had smoke coming out of everywhere, out of the exhaust and out of here. So I think we have some kind of exhaust leak going on, so I'm going to pop off this FMF Gold Series pipe and take a look.
I'll start trying to get to this hose clamp or whatever.
Sounds good. We have some some
good.
jank here.
We're already missing a bracket here, so we're ahead.
No spark.
Yeah. So it could be. Did someone mess with the kill switch? Or?
No, sir.
It's
button.
only a push button.
Nice. Hey. Now. All right. So hold on. Let me dump the power band out. We got to replace that. It's somewhere in here. Must not be loose yet. I'm kidding.
That doesn't.
Yeah. That doesn't look.
What?
I'm not sure. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to watch some CR500 videos.
Yeah, maybe some restoration videos or like replacing plastic and see if you can catch a glimpse of the frame bare. Cause that, I mean.
That looks wrong.
I mean, I understand like notching it and then putting a piece in there for clearing, but like, why would they leave it like this?
And then also, you can't forget
This back here.
Dude, they got welded
So,
2 bolts.
That is how it should look. That's what we got. We have a bolt jammed into the broken piece of the frame.
At least I know what to mimic. I can make
Exactly.
it look like that over here.
So we're
No
gonna
big deal.
fix that while we're at it right now.
Yep. Dude, look at the exhaust packing. I knew it was loaded with oil, but I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, so like the exhaust from the motor goes through here. It needs to come out of these holes, go through that, back through, I guess. But it can just go straight through that. But the exhaust packing is definitely crucial for a good exhaust note, I guess. But
And flow.
yeah, flow.
Oh.
But I mean, look at that. It's I'm gonna have to clean up, but it stinks, man. Give me your forehead. I'm gonna mark you like Simba.
All right, so
The
that could be
two-stroke.
part of the problem too.
Could be, yeah. I mean, now, for now, you know, until the new exhaust packing comes in, I can just put the muffler back together with this, and it'll just flow freely. Better than that. But what I noticed reassembling this is the best part of this bush repair is that they put a square nut and it's fixed, like it won't spin in between when it gets pinched here on this bracket, but it's stripped out, so we'll have to replace it. But
Funny how they have the ingenuity to
Yeah.
do that, but
but
not to. It's all right. We've been there.
it's okay. Hey, you can't forget where you came from.
That ain't going nowhere. Oh, hey, if you're someone that appreciates vintage Hondas, King Midgets, and other vehicles that still work after years of use, you're going to appreciate today's video sponsor, Henson Shaving. Other than the orangish red paint, the Henson AL13 is just like a Honda CR500. It's a precision instrument built to last a long time with a low cost of ownership. Here's what I mean. Most razors lack blade support, which leads to irritation and razor burn. The Henson AL13 is built to hold a single blade at a fixed 30-degree angle with calculated blade exposure, which makes it smooth and easy to use. Unlike the CR500, the AL13 was designed by aerospace engineers and is CNC machined out of high-quality aluminum and stainless steel. It's a simple, elegant design that lasts a long, long time, and because it's plastic-free, it helps reduce CO2 emissions, waste, and landfill. Also, unlike the CR500, this bad boy is incredibly inexpensive to refill. In fact, once you own a Henson razor, it's only about $3 to $5 per year to shave, depending on how often you shave. After using the AL13, I have to say this thing does some cutting. The built-in angle helped me get a nice close shave that's smooth and didn't tug one bit. I like the machine metal construction. It's lightweight, long-lasting quality that you can feel. I also really like the no-clog design. So if you're looking for a new way to shave, Henson is going to hook you up. Thanks to Henson Shaving for sponsoring this video and for providing you, my viewers, with 100 free blade refills if you use the code CarsandCameras at hensonshaving.com/CarsandCameras or click the link in my description. Now remember, 100 free blade refills if you use our code. Big thanks again to Henson Shaving for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the CR500. So we just installed the new coil, and we're going to test out and see what kind of spark we got. Woo!
I take it works.
Did it get you?
A little bit.
I think it got him. It was so quick I couldn't even move the camera.
All right, let's try this again. All right. Yeah, we got spark even at low RPM.
Oh yeah. Oh, golly. All right. Well, that's good.
Let's put this plug in and put the reinstall the fuel tank and try to kick her over. All right, so we did all the work on the ignition, and we did find an issue with the exhaust being slightly clogged and stuff. Hopefully this thing's gonna fire up now.
No problem.
2 kicks.
Second kick, baby.
Yeah.
2 kicks.
So I'm gonna tilt this thing over to make it do the little P thing.
Yep, do the whole 9.
Yeah.
Tilt it over, rock it back and forth
I
in
ain't
gear.
gonna rock it back and forth.
Alright. Y'all let the comments take care of that one.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Dude, second real kick.
Second kick.
So idle adjustment, it just says left and right.
And it doesn't tell you which way.
It doesn't say which one's more or less.
Alright.
Hold on. Yeah, both. There's arrows on both.
Woo!
All right, so we did throw a section of like a pod boot, like turbo hose or something, and a Go Power Sports pod filter on there, just so we can ride around. So anybody that's wondering if the carburetor's still open, we took care of that. Oh, we were just about to adjust the idle. I do have a screwdriver with me if you need.
Let's see if it'll crank back up.
Okay, please.
Yeah,
Please.
please crank back up. I need a stool. I'm pushing it back to the shop.
Okay, all right, I'll help you.
I was just poking around the bike, checking things over. I took the plug off to the transmission and it looked pretty bad. So we are now draining the transmission fluid on this
I
bike.
think we only put like 15 minutes on it, but still.
Hey, you gotta, oh my.
What is that?
Is that water or metal? Or both?
I think that's liquid metal.
Sorry.
Isn't that an XM station?
Liquid metal?
Yeah.
Maybe
That's like
maybe
their
when we
metal
were
station.
younger, like when 99.5 was the real 99X.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, this is not looking good, guys.
Yikes.
Anybody want to buy a CR500?
No tire kickers.
It's famous.
Yeah. Is that do you think that's water or?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty.
It's kind of milky.
Yeah, it seems milky to me. I don't have. I can get my magnet, like clean my
Yeah.
magnet and
Yeah.
slosh through it and
Yeah,
see
we
what
can give
comes
that
up.
a shot.
Alright, so I do see a little ring of metal around, like probably the magnet's there, and it probably stops right where that like ring around it is. So it's really, that's probably like a normal amount, wouldn't you say? Maybe.
I don't see anything excessive.
No,
really.
it's not like huge chunks or this thing is a big fuzz ball or anything. So maybe it's just a maybe
it's just left over. I'm not sure if we ever checked the fluid
my fingers.
in the transmission. I think we might have added some,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we added some.
but I don't think we changed it. Could be leftover water or whatever from the cooling system from our case problems.
So we'll let that finish dripping, and that should be a good flush. We'll put the plug back in and top it up to whatever it's supposed to be. So now that it's finished draining, I've put the drain plug back in. We're going to put, I think, what was it, 0.7 of a quart in there?
0.7 something.
0.7 something, and I did take the bolt out, and I can see the gearbox through the port. So I think that's the indicator. Like on all my Honda stuff, like my four-wheelers and everything, like the diffs, they've always had a drain plug, and then when it's full, stop plug.
Right.
Now that the radiator seems like kind of warmish to the touch, so always be careful. Don't open these when they're hot, but keep pressure downward on the cap when opening. Oh, no hiss, so okay, I think we're good. All right. So it's not the best looking, but there's no water in,
Yeah,
or no oil.
It's full too. So
Yeah, it's full.
I'm wondering if all that stuff in the transmission might have been left over from previous.
Yeah.
But I really would love to do a compression test on this thing now.
Let's go ahead and do that while the engine's still kind of warm.
Yep.
All right.
That hose has got a spark plug threaded end on it. You screw it into the spark plug, and then he has a gauge that clips onto the end of it. And what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to kick this thing over, and we should see around 150 psi, if not more. Anything below that, and we're probably in trouble.
Tell us how you really feel.
I hate you.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, what do we have?
It's okay. Almost at 150.
Oh,
So that's good.
Not bad cop, huh?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. All right. Do you want a glass of water?
all right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a leak down test on the whole case. I did some research, and what they like to do is plug off the exhaust port and then pump air in through the intake port with a little like valve or whatever, and you check the gauge. You put in 5 pounds of pressure, no more, and it's supposed to hold that 5 pounds of pressure for like 5 minutes. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be checking it out, because I got to get down to the, why is this thing so hard to crank up? It's just, it's upsetting me. Okay guys, so I've got my engine plugged off. It's ready for pressurization. So we're going to check for the leak down. It's supposed to hold 5 pounds for 5 minutes. So let's put this thing to 5 pounds. Alright, there we go. We got 5 pounds. And it's leaking down pretty fast. So let's start spraying and looking for leaks.
Okay.
We're going to check my... well, there's a small leak. So we're going to tighten that up and see if I can get it to stop.
Okay. That's not the end. Oh, seems like. Hey, don't let the water run down in there.
Down in where?
In the
Oh, yeah.
crankcase. I didn't think you would, but just dawned on me.
I don't see any external leaks, bro.
Okay. Is it still leaking down?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it would have stopped. Oh yeah, it's down to a pound and a half.
Give it a little bit more. I'm going to be looking for bubbles in the coolant. We've been going over this whole thing. We can't find any external leaks, but we do hear inside of this crankcase, the transmission fluid fill hole, you can actually hear a leak internally somewhere. Sounds like frying bacon, like John said. So, that's not good. It's probably going to involve tearing down the complete engine. Did you say big bore kit?
Yeah, I also said, it turns out, we learned that the most expensive CR500 is the cheapest CR500.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true in this case. So since it sounds like our leak is coming from the transmission case, we are going to pull the side cover off and pull everything down until we find our leak. So we got to drain the coolant system. We got to drain the transmission again. Yeah, we just filled it up, and probably gonna have to remove the clutch basket and stuff to get down to our seals.
This is where surprises get very expensive.
Yes. Now,
I will never financially recover from this.
you may never financially recover from this.
We'll see.
Ooh. Well, that thing's coming out
All right.
with a vengeance.
Man, what a relief.
How's that?
What a relief.
Is that all coolant, like going in the coolant bucket?
This is coolant bucket, yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, my gasket job is good because there ain't none of the bolts are tight and it's still holding fluid. I think there's a dowel pin holding it.
I think there is.
Was down there.
How's the JB well holding up?
Good, but we've got some sludgage.
Oh yeah, there's some nastiness in there.
Yeah, it's just a coolant flush, boys. That's all this was.
Yes, it is.
So then, I don't know if we got to get that washer off, but I guess we're good to try and wiggle the side cover off.
Man,
now.
that's weird.
Why did
color.
it turn blue?
Yeah, and it's not all. It's weird.
You're weird.
You're weird.
Back
Alright.
to the
Hey,
8.
look, it's out of the way now.
You can tell there's a little Mother Nature Loctite on all those.
Yeah.
It has moved.
Haven't been out since '98.
Okay.
Nice.
Ew.
What has been rubbing that?
Not this.
I don't see nothing. What is all that stuff?
I don't.
Have they already done a repair on this? Is that paint?
What is that?
I don't know
It's
what that
everywhere. They painted.
Looks like Sherwin
Something.
Williams softer tan and an eggshell finish.
Someone's been shopping for house paint. Okay, so that's the water pump gear. The bearing.
Oh, look at that.
It's cute.
Okay. Cool. That's gonna be fun to get that set in there. But yeah, they I did the thing.
Called it.
It's all right. No, I was trying to move it, and it fell in the socket swimming pool. That's what you,
fun bucket.
that's what you call these things.
Clutches and discs.
Want to look at the clutches while we're at it?
They look pretty good.
They do.
Oh yeah, you can still see the
Yeah.
lines. So if those are smooth, and you don't
That's
see
bad.
the little squares, that's bad. All right, so what are
So
you doing?
this
What are you doing?
should be, when you press in the clutch, this should shoot out.
Should I press in? The
Go
clutch?
ahead.
All right.
Hey. Yep. That's what pushes on the basket, which releases the clutches.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna just put that right there. So now we got to get that big old nut off.
So we're gonna stack it just the way I took it off.
Good call.
And you can do it the other way. You could stack it the way that you're gonna be putting it back on. So you could, you know, the last piece is the last piece to go on. However you want to do it. Oh, okay. I don't see any timing marks, so there's that. So I was wondering, like, you know, this washer, because it's like this washer is kind of keeping this in place. It's a two-piece. Look at this.
I've never seen that before.
I
dude.
like that.
a two-piece washer.
That's really cool. Yeah. So let's see. The clutch came off like that. And I'm gonna put this down the way it was. So that way if it, you know, you pick it back up, put it on the bike, that's the way it's supposed to be. So now, oh boy. All right. Doesn't feel like anything's coming with it. Okay.
Bangs.
But I think, yeah, I think we're good now. Like I don't. Okay, so. All right, yeah,
There's
we'll
like
just.
a piece of debris in here. See that?
Is there? Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get that out for sure. Well, we didn't use orange RTV,
So that's been in there since.
so that's been in there since '92.
yeah, since the first bush.
So I think now that we've got the clutch basket off, I can remove the main. I guess this would be like the crankshaft gear, because that's
Yeah.
that's the rotating assembly back there. So we'll remove this gear because that bearing, there might be a seal behind that bearing, but I don't think so. We'll look in the disassembly, like the engine guide or whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's a gasket or a seal behind this. That's like our crank seal. Okay. So yes, there is a seal.
And
Perfect.
we hope that's the culprit.
Did you just pop the gasket out?
Nope. It popped the other thing out, the metal piece. Abort.
Crap.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that this piece needs to be installed with that piece
Yeah.
in order to check the seal behind it.
Well, we're learning.
We are learning. Take two.
Oh, it turned it off. Okay, ready.
Let's check. I can't hear anything. So we can't see it, but if you put your ear right up to it, I wonder if the mic can pick it up. It sounds like frying bacon.
Yeah, it's just like a little hiss, like a leaking tire or something.
Yep, that would be our culprit.
Well, at least it's somewhat of an external seal.
Do the dance. Hey.
And there we go. Oh, and I didn't tear it up too bad, but still wouldn't use it again, especially with a 2-stroke. But let's just double check. Oh yeah, they're the same size.
All right, the new seal is installed. The primary drive gear is reinstalled and torqued to spec.
33 foot-pounds.
That's right. Go ahead and put 5 PSI and see what happens.
You hear anything?
Ooh, I don't hear anything.
Dude, that's good. No sizzles. Okay, let me look and see if it's leaking down, because I'm the dummy that left the gauge over here. So it seems to be holding. Like I cut it off early because I don't want to go over 5 pounds because we can blow the seals back out. But it hasn't moved between the 5 and the 4.5.
Well, let's give it a few minutes.
Yeah, because it's supposed to hold. Yeah. It's supposed to hold for 5 minutes.
But
right.
Man, sweet.
Hey, yeah, not bad. All right, so this is exactly the oil change.
Yep. And you're gonna start second kick, and every second kick from here on out.
Got it.
Please.
John's going to be cranking up the bike, and he's going to try to follow some...
I'm doing this for the viewers. You know, I know that was the most entertaining part of the last video, was a guy that weighs as much as the CR500 trying to start the CR500. So this is redemption round.
Actually, I think you're lighter than the CR500.
All right, so step 1, make the carburetor pee on the ground. There it goes.
There it goes.
All right, and I routed the hoses all right, down the right passage. So these.
Step 2, roll it back and forth in gear.
You might want to put it in second or third.
It's
dude.
in second.
See, I don't think the engine.
Gonna find neutral. Nope. Said neutral.
There we go.
Charles, you got your eye on him, buddy?
Yeah, get ready to catch.
Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna fall in the king midget or on the ground. I don't know where. So I'm just
Second kick.
Oh my.
Second kick.
Yeah, protect my king midget.
Yeah, but I also don't want him to go to the concrete.
Oh, we don't have a cap on the radiator.
Don't worry
That's
about it.
Okay. Gonna let it, kind of percolate in there a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, now we're gonna find the spot.
All right.
Are you giving it throttle or no?
Yeah, I do. Like quarter to half throttle. That's one. Second kick, right? It wanted to. It wanted to.
I
think.
Can hear it. It was right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm physically not capable of starting this one.
We need both. But if I was on your back, then we couldn't start it.
This is embarrassing.
That's why I stick to 4 strokes.
You're gonna lose the shop if you don't crank it up on the next one.
Someone's messing with your M3.
Oh boy.
I can't pick it that hard.
Alright.
All right.
It probably needs some kind of air filter before it can idle, because you can watch fuel just like exit the carburetor.
That was the first time it ever cranked up after
Cranking it a first time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try it a third time.
Sure. Do you know what's going on with the idle, or?
No, we got to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to do anything to increase the idle, but being a pain. Figure that idle out. So I'll do some research. So 3 times in a row, that's an improvement.
Yeah.
And the kickback and then the startup was consistent twice.
Yeah, it's like you sure about this? Try to break your leg. All right.
I hope you're really sure about it.
So this bike is so finicky. We're just gonna go through everything. I mean, it's like 38 years old. No telling how much abuse it's taken, so I think we're fighting more than one problem on this bike. It's the reason why it's so hard to start. So we're going to go through everything. Charles is going to go through the carburetor, make sure the jetting is right. Yeah.
Again.
And I'm going to check the ignition.
Again.
Yeah, everything again. Because we really would love to nip this in the bud. And because I get so upset. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I get so upset every time I see a video of someone starting these things. They just sit on them and go, vroom. And it's like the complete opposite for me. I'm like killing it, trying to get it to crank. And it's just, I would love to get that, vroom.
Me too, that satisfying just hit.
So, Charles is working on the carburetor.
So the 2-strokes have a life expectancy from brand new to pop, blowing up. You know what I mean? It's like you have 60 hours. They're going to blow up. 4-strokes, if you maintain them, they can technically last forever.
Do you think this is blowed up?
I don't know. But it might be at its life expectancy. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're pulling this thing out of the nursing home and saying, come on, get back on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. It's blue.
Our filter's doing the job.
Yeah, because there's a lot of trash in that thing.
Yeah, let's double check our pilot, our main, air screw, make sure all that is triple checked to factory spec. Okay.
So I've got the carburetor put back together, rejetted for the FMF pipe. We're going to go, and while that's done, we're letting Ike tack up on the water pump side. We're going to remove this front end, lower it 3/8 of an inch, and go ahead and replace the boots that we don't have right now. But we have the new ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all that's left of the old one right here.
So in my research online, people say that over like 80 or 90 miles an hour, the CR500 just does not handle well. And Kaplan America himself said that if you just lower it 3/8 of an inch here, it'll handle a lot better at speed. And plus that'll help, well, me anyway, the short guy, just sit on this thing and ride it.
Go ahead.
Crusty.
Oh, she is. All right. Cool. So
get this thing cleaned up and reinstall.
Yeah.
Some ultra fine steel wool would probably be ideal, but
we can't find it.
We don't have any. Well, I'm sure we do.
It
Just
looks
can't
like
find it.
The blue towel's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I knew this was going to be fun.
All right, so
Cool.
could you go like back to where it was and whenever you're ready?
So I think it was where?
It was
Right
right
there?
about there.
So we're going to
move
go there.
it right about there.
Somewhere around in there.
And it still has plenty of clamping.
Yep.
Here we go.
and restored. $12,000. I know what I got.
Pay no mind to the little rust fitting.
Put the lowering kit on the CR500. The old drop spindle action.
Yeah.
She got a rake now. She
It
ain't
does.
squatting, she got a rake. We'll get to the squatting later.
Clamp's a little crooked, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna take this thing to, what is it? We're gonna go over to France and go do Mount Impossible.
That'd be cool. And a mini bike.
All right, so we adjusted the timing again for optimal cold start from what we've read and heard. We adjusted the main and the pilot, optimized for the FMF pipe. We've adjusted our front end, installed new boots. Hopefully it'll run better this time.
No!
Oh no! Ah! Whoa! Nice! What a guy! Old roll restart.
Yep. I gotta say, this bike is incredibly fast, and I ain't gonna lie, it makes me nervous riding it. It is one of the fastest dirt bikes I've ever ridden. Just wondering when he's gonna stop riding this thing. I think he's liking it a little bit too much. I think John might be more comfortable on this bike than I am. I have a problem. I don't know when to let go of the throttle.
For some reason the zoom is stuck. Oh, perfect. Alright, I think he's done.
I'm done.
And he's done. Alright. Good, because for some reason the zoom is stuck and you're full frame right now, so it's perfect. Alright.
Do you think you still like it?
That's the problem with this bike, is I can't stand it working on it and kicking it, and then I ride it and it's like, oh, that's why these sell for $12,000 when they're freshly restored. It's insane.
Well,
my hands are sore.
It is freshly restored.
It is.
$12,000, guys. Let us know. Leave a message in the comments.
Okay, I think
Do you want to ride it?
some assembly required back
No, we
there.
gotta oil it.
Okay.
Got to give a big shout out to my buddy Kevin from the Dirt Bike Fab YouTube channel. He's got a lot of experience building CR500s, and he's been giving us a lot of pointers along the way. We are definitely learning as we go on this build, but we're having a lot of fun, at least when the bike runs. Kevin hooked us up with a 85 CR500 factory airbox, so big shout out to him for that. Go check out his YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. So when we get this thing cleaned up, we can get it installed. It should help the bike run better with a factory-style airbox. You'll see more about it in the next episode of the CR500. I'm trying to bring the bike to Mini Mayhem, which is coming up October 20th through the 22nd of 2023. We're putting together an itinerary, frequently asked questions, and just general information on the Mini Mayhem Facebook page in the next few days. So if you're thinking about coming or you just want to join a really cool small engine Facebook group, head on over. I'll also link that in the video description. Can't wait to see you guys there. You've got about a month, so I hope you're getting busy. This weekend, if the weather holds out, we will be at the Washington Warren Airport for the Wheels and Wings Cruise In and Fly In. We'll have our lawnmower there. We're doing some mods to that. We'll have probably the Cozy Coupe, probably the Ducati there. Some of our best all-time projects. We might be doing some ripping around there. I don't know. They have a burnout pit. But basically, it's part car show, part air show to help benefit the UNC Burn Center. As far as I know, it's completely free to attend as well. So come on out, Washington, North Carolina, the Washington Warren Airfield this weekend if the weather's good. If the weather's not good, we'll see you the following Saturday.
I wouldn't have hands if it weren't for that burn center, so
yeah.
Come support them.
Very true. One final thing. Today is the last day to pick up our Road to 130 Mile an Hour pre-sale t-shirt. That's right. We're doing a pre-sale on these t-shirts, and we've sold them for the last 2 weeks, and today is the last day. So if you don't pick one up today, they are gone forever. Basically, it's a hand-drawn illustration of our land speed mini bike on top of Ike's 77 Mercury Grand Marquis. It's a majestic photo. It turned out really, really sweet, and pick one up today or they're gone forever. So thank you to everyone who's bought one so far, and everyone else, get in while you can. Thank you all for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying the CR500 content. I know it's killing Ike's right leg. It's killing my right leg too. But we might have a fix for that in the next episode. We'll see you then.
Well, I'm beyond the 2 kicks.
Yeah.